Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're focusing in a little bit more in depth on the narcissistic and psychopathic manipulation tool of gaslighting. This is a tactic of the personality character disordered, narcissistic, as well as psychopathic individual. And gaslighting is a form of emotional manipulation and abuse. Its end result is to cause you to doubt your reality, doubt your sanity, doubt your vision, doubt your truth, doubt your senses, doubt your feelings, doubt your inner direction, doubt your instinct, doubt your life purpose, doubt your strengths. They are trying to get you severed from your reality, your focus, your truth. Because if a narcissist or a psychopathic abuser can get you to focus on them and their emotional manipulation, if they can get you to see things from how they operate, which is by emotional manipulation, then they have essentially created a gaslighting environment where they, in essence, are like the puppeteer over now what they are creating is a victim. So they seek people to prey on. And when I say that, I say that very seriously. Predator, prey. Looking to overwhelm. They are looking to prey on other people and to render them lifeless, feeling useless, feeling worthless. So when you begin to doubt yourself, then you doubt your self-esteem. You are then disconnected from your self-worth. Do you see how this works? If they can disengage you from your sense of self-worth, you are now no longer a threat to them. A predator, in other words, will feast on and will be completely absorbed by a life of pathological self-interest. And so we see with the narcissist who lives by a pathological sense of ego and self-importance, these individuals constantly need to have their ego fed. They constantly need to have their ego stroked. They constantly need to be in the center of attention. So if this is a narcissist, everyone has to revolve around them. If it's a psychopath, everybody has to revolve around them. And so in essence, you are living in constant reaction to this individual. And I wish I had a big whiteboard, and I will get into more specifics. I am working on a book to help you identify and understand this. But if this individual is constantly the one who is self-important, you are how they manipulate is you have to constantly think and obsess about them. You have to constantly be reacting to them. You have to be constantly focusing on them. And that is how they break you down, is they get you to abandon yourself, abandon your truth, abandon your senses, abandon your own humanization, your own humanity, your own values, your own safety, your own security. They get you to abandon this and become them irresponsible to yourself, which means the ability to respond. You can no longer be responsible to yourself. You can no longer respond to your own internal guiding system. You can no longer respond to your own truth. You can no longer cry out. You can no longer say, this was not right. This happened to me. I was abused here. I was hit by my sister. I was sexually abused by my cousin. I was assaulted by my father. I was shut outside by my brother. All these different things that occurred. You try to speak up. You try to vocalize what, had occurred and an injustice. And they're going to basically cause you to doubt your reality. They're going to cause you to doubt what had happened. They're going to say, no, that did not happen. Or you are just crying wolf. Or that happens to everybody. Or, yeah, it's a tough life, so what? They're going to get you to shut down. They're going to stunt your growth. They're going to get you to stop you in your tracks when you really need to be able to express that and work those things through. So the foundation of gaslighting is getting you to doubt your reality. It is getting you to doubt your self-worth. And if you doubt your self-worth, you will not follow up on things that are important to you. You will hold yourself back. You will isolate yourself. You will engage in self-sabotaging and self-harming behaviors. You will overeat. You will overspend. You will overdrink. You will oversmoke. You will develop bulimia. You will develop anorexia. You'll develop morbid obesity. You'll develop insomnia, depression, anxiety, health syndromes, fibromyalgia, cancer. The immune system breaks down. You feel like you're constantly in chronic fatigue syndrome. A lot of these are tied to the emotional body. It creates a psychological stress, which is very chronic, ongoing, and unhealthy. So this chronic psychological stress creates a fight or flight system within the body, which is basically like if you were to see a bear, you would get terrified. If you were to see, if you're 5'6", if you're 5 feet, if you're 6 feet, if you were to see a 9-foot bear come running at you with claws about yay long and looking at you like you're their next dinner, and basically it's a fight for your life. I mean, you would feel a sense of terror. You would feel a sense of what we call fight or flight, where your body then shoots out an excessive amount of adrenaline and gets you to become, a super burst of strength and psychological focus, and your pupils enlarge and your adrenals go, and everything starts going to help you save your life. Well, this is in essence what happens when you're around a narcissistic or psychopathic abuser. This feeling becomes exasperated, and you live in this on a very chronic, continual and day-by-day basis, and this is what leads to oftentimes a lot of the maladaptive, self-destructive behaviors to satisfy the abuser. So if you look at it and understand that the seat of a lot of these self-sabotaging behaviors, you're acting out the abuse that was inflicted on you from a psychological or pathological abuser, because they are violating you. They are overriding your boundaries. They basically are taking advantage of your vulnerabilities when you are young or emotionally naive. You're not emotionally developed yet. You're not psychologically developed. A 10-year-old can't run a business. They're not psychologically equipped yet. They haven't grown. They haven't had life experiences. They're still forming. They're still developing. So oftentimes this is really, creating a very important dynamic to understand that this really is an insidious form of people being overwhelmed and taken advantage of. And so when the seed of this is really in order to control and manipulate and to keep you gaslighted, keep you doubting, and then disengage from your strength so that you will not present as a threat to this abuser. Because if you pose a threat to them, if you, might be getting some attention, if you might be doing well, if you might have a certain skill or a certain sensitivity, or, you might be, someone in the reality who could take the attention off of them, you are then an object of contempt. To be an object of contempt means to be one who is sought after with malice, jealousy, hatred, and eventually attacked. So gaslighting is a form of psychological attack. And they do this to the people who would pose a threat to them, and they get them to distort and convolute their sense of self so they can render them helpless. And so as you can see, if you're not in touch with your strength, they have won. So it is very important for you to understand that they are going to reflect in an erroneous view of you. They're going to tell you you're wrong. They're going to tell you you're ugly. They're going to tell you you don't know what you're talking about, because it gets them to feed you the lies so that you can't live your truth. You then satisfy their needs of pathological self-importance. So you have to realize after gaslighting that you are not crazy. You are a wonderful person. You have a truth. You have an inner guiding system. This individual has tried to overwhelm that to get you disengaged and disconnected from it, and furthermore inflicting harm on yourself so they can basically, win. If it's like you're the enemy for some reason, even though you've done nothing, to them to warrant that behavior. You've done nothing against them. You've done nothing wrong. you are perceived as an enemy to these individuals. They want to overpower, they want to overwhelm. It's just how they work. So you have to realize that the message that you are a victim is only in the hands of an abuser. So they want to, keep you as a victim to serve their ends. So really, for you to understand that you are not a victim, you were treated to be a victim by this abuser. You are not a victim. You had taken on this experience while you were with them, while you were around them. But yet when you let them go and you give that abusive behavior back to that individual and realize that you're a separate individual from them, you are not a victim. That is how they want to define you. That is how they're going to keep you under their thumb. If they keep you down, they keep you stuck, they're winning. It's like the old, wrestling match. If they can take that guy down, they've won. Well, that's what it is. It's like a wrestling for your psychology. It's a wrestling for your self trust. It's a wrestling for your perception, your ego, your truth, your personality. So you need to embrace yourself and let go of that victim mentality that the abuser is trying to inflict on you. And it's time to say, no more. I'm not a victim. I'm not living in that victim mentality. I'm not associated with this person anymore. I'm completely disengaged and I'm letting them go. I'm not their victim. I am my own person. I have my own reality. I have my own value that I know that I give to others. And I'm now getting in touch with that, and I'm now validating that. And as you do this consistently and embrace yourself, your own perception as away from this victimizer, realize that's all that they do is they tend to victimize people. So once you go no contact and you separate from them, you'll realize you're a whole person with your senses intact, your sense of sight, hearing, taste, feel. Your inner guidance system will begin to kick in again. It'll come back online once you get away from these victimizers and start to cleanse your aura and cleanse your mindset of the psychological gaslighting that they had tried to manipulate you with. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.